Hello everybody, what is up? It is Mutes1Person, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about what is possibly the worst piece of YouTube Roblox drama I have ever seen. That's all I can say. So if you guys do want to lose a couple brain cells, maybe you have too many, I do encourage you to watch this video, and I also encourage you to not take any sides as I am doing in this video. I encourage you to stay as a neutral party, because none of what anyone is saying in this argument makes any sense whatsoever, and I'm going to be explaining to you guys why this is the most stupid drama I have ever come across. So let's get right into the video without further ado. So to be honest, this kind of thing is what happens when YouTube and Roblox Twitter get too closely intertwined. You get all the Twitter stupidity overflowing over onto YouTube, and that is just not fun. So the major parties concerned are Doggostudios, Soccer Boy, and our main protagonist, Hamado1018. So you guys may be wondering, okay, what is this? So what happened is Doggostudios and Soccer Boy both made exposed videos on this Hamado1018 person. So you may be wondering, this Hamado1018 person must be a horrible person. He must have made a hate video about tapping gods. No, guys, he has done something far, far worse. Something so much worse that you cannot compute how much worse it is. He has been a transphobic person. Yes, I'm just letting you guys kind of compute that he has been transphobic. And he's misgendered people, and he's harassed people. So I'm just going to kind of, maybe I'll show the video off on the screen, the exposed video, but I'm kind of going to take apart this video and explain why none of it makes any sense, and why everyone here is overreacting, and how this drama is just stupid. And I'm also going to give you guys the reason that I'm not siding with anyone in this argument, and the main reason is because everyone in this argument is a complete idiot, and I don't want to be seen collaborating with people that have no common sense. So let me just say that, get that out of the way. So let's get right into the video and let's talk about it. So the main friction point of this video for me was the fact that Hamado1018 was transphobic, and he's been misgendering people. Right, misgendering, and apparently he's been harassing, so we've already said that. And so basically what happened is this Hamado person called a transgender man, because I suppose that's a new woman, by he, him pronouns, when that person preferred to be called by she, her pronouns. So that is the main friction point on this video, and I'm going to bring up a couple tweets for you now. So this person says in the video, "You cannot speak for transgender people," but I think this message is badly phrased insofar as it means more something like, you are not allowed to think anything negative about transgender people. And let me just say, I mean, it's 2021, but you're still allowed to have an opinion, be it positive or negative. Obviously people aren't going to want to hear your negative opinion, but you are allowed to think negative things. As long as you don't go out and act on those things, then it's fine, okay? You don't need everyone to be thinking the same thing. If you guys haven't already, I recommend you go and read 1984, because that book kind of summarizes where our society is heading, towards a thought police, where if you do not think this thought, then you will be ostracized and probably killed. So let me just say, you are allowed to have an opinion, even if it is negative. And you're allowed to use, let me bring up another point, you're allowed to use the words that you would like to use. Nobody is allowed to impose vocabulary upon you. I have freedom of speech, and so does everyone else on this platform, on this planet, sorry. So you cannot go over to someone and say, I want you to call me this and that, and expect that person to listen to you and to do exactly what you've asked them to do, because that person is not obligated by the law to do what you're asking them to do. So what he's doing isn't against the law, and maybe it's not a nice thing to do, but it all depends on his perception of what gender that person is, okay? He's not going to defy his own perception in order to please the other person. If Hamado thinks this person looks like a man, then he is allowed to call that person by he, him pronouns, even if the pronouns that he uses aren't necessarily the same ones as that person would like him to use. So the whole misgendering part of this is complete BS, and in my opinion does not count as a point, because if he believes that this person is a man, then he is allowed to believe that. Do not go and harass him for believing something you do not agree with. That's just really stupid. So this has also been labeled as harassment, and Hamado had apparently gone and harassed this streamer called Gladly Ashley by calling this person this person's dead name. Okay, so dead name, that's bullshit. What is written on, I'm asking you, what is written on your birth certificate? I will call you by that name and not the name that you want to be called by, because that is your official name. I'm not going to be calling you, I'm not going to call my friend, I'm not going to call my friend Joe Jeff because he wants to be called Jeff. His name is Joe. I'm going to call him Joe. Apparently Ashley was offended by being called this apparent dead name. But I mean, come on, stop it. This is just stupid. You can't be offended. It's like if I call you a horrible person, right? It's exactly the same thing as if I call you a pronoun you don't want to be called. In both cases, you think that that is nasty, me calling you one or the other. So why is there all this Twitter drama that arises when someone calls someone else their dead name? This is just really stupid. So apparently this is harassment now, and I'll bring up another thing, a tweet on the screen. Let me just reiterate that I do not support any parties in this, and I think the whole argument is really stupid. So Hamado's an idiot, and everyone else in this argument is a complete idiot. So let me just move on to the next chapter of this saga. So apparently all of this was harassment, and let me just bring up a tweet where on the screen it says Hamado basically tweeted something, and there are 28 replies to this, and these people are claiming that Hamado is harassing them when they are replying 28 times to his tweet. So all the other tweets I think have been cherry picked because these tweets obviously not representative of the whole situation. I mean, imagine if someone punched you in the face. Would you be angry at them? Yes, you probably would, and you'd probably start saying some horrible things. You wouldn't be punched in the face and then cry and run off. Well, some people might, but I'd be extremely angry if you were to punch me in the face, and I wouldn't stand for it. I would start talking a bunch of trash, which is what happens here. Hamado starts talking a bunch of trash because these people have annoyed him, and then these people go ahead and pull up the, oh, Hamado was playing the victim card. And why do they do this? So let me just iterate that Doggostudios and Soccer Boy both say to not go and harass this person after the video has ended. But have you ever heard of reverse psychology? Okay, this is actually something that exists, and it's a concept that may be foreign to you, but let me explain. So reverse psychology is basically not telling someone to do it, so they will go and do it, you complete idiots. Saying to not go and harass somebody actually encourages people to go and harass somebody. If I was to ask you guys not to think about a pink elephant and ask you what you're thinking about this second, you are thinking about a pink elephant, okay? I mean, please don't be so stupid. And so Hamado rightfully complains that he is getting all this harassment for saying his opinion on Twitter. I do not necessarily support his opinion, but he is entitled to it. There is no need to go out there and be a complete piece of trash towards him, even if his opinion offends you. Yet again, I'm not supporting him, but just saying he has the right to an opinion, and there is no point in making all of this drama public. Because let me also iterate that I mean, I just don't understand this. There's something called a private message, okay? And private messages are supposed to stay private, right? And I do not understand all of these people that just make private messages available publicly. That is not right in any sense of, like, in any sense. I don't care what the person's done. You should not be making private messages public. Private messages are something that is between you and the person that you are sending that message to, and no one else. Do not make private messages public. And this is another thing that really annoyed me about this video, is that a lot of private messages were made public and they didn't need to be. There is no need to do that. Don't be such an arse. So another thing that was mentioned in this Doggostudios video was the fact that he maybe faked DMs with Team YouTube. So let me just mention something. YouTube does not give a crap about YouTubers with 1,000 subscribers. Let me also mention that email is how this type of thing works, and not Twitter. I've had YouTube accounts, and I've had to email YouTube if I wanted to get a takedown, right? I do not go on Twitter and send them a DM. Imagine you're in a job and you go on Twitter, you add, no, okay, let me make it more obvious. You add your boss on Instagram and you start talking to your boss on Instagram. How professional is that? That is probably the least professional you can be, and that's just really stupid. So also in this video, there's a roast which I just find really trash. And apparently this was a fire roast, and I don't know what planet this person's on, but it's just not a fire roast. It's really trash. It's the type of insult you'd use in middle school, and you'd kind of laugh awkwardly after saying it, and everyone else would look at you with a straight face. But this is the insult: soccer ain't a mirror. That's not funny, and it isn't a roast. I would not consider either of those funny or a roast. And then Doggostudios goes to say none of this would have happened if this person had used Gladly Ashley's pronouns. So I just want to tell you that you are a complete idiot, and that none of this should have happened. None of this should have happened at all because of a misuse of pronouns. This is stupid. This should be resolved in private and not publicized all over the internet. I believe every party that is included in this discussion have made themselves look stupid. Yet again, I have nothing against them personally, but I just do not understand why you'd make such a silly argument public. So I do hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and if you do want to go and watch the videos, then I will leave them in the description. I wouldn't want to put you through that, and in fact I did download the videos so that I could watch them, so that I didn't give them more watch time than they deserved. So I hope you guys did like this video, even though it was a bit ranty, I suppose. Please do leave a like and leave a comment. Whose side are you on in this? I am not taking any sides. I'm not taking any sides, but I am realizing that this Hamado person is being picked on. And yet again, I'm not taking sides, but merely looking at the facts that are being presented to me and perceiving them as I perceive them. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and you know, just tell me what your opinion is on the whole situation. Yeah, so see you guys soon. Peace.